Jen Backus would have expected that uncovering human remains, even old ones, might feel a little more urgent. Yes, she understood that last week's triple homicide took precedence over some half-century-old bones, and she appreciated that the coroner's people were still here. But considering how chaotic her own last 48 hours had been, chaotic and apprehensive and filled with jolts of memory, are those human teeth? That stopped her in her tracks. She had not expected her initial skin-crawling shock to give way to something shamefully close to exasperation. I should just accept defeat and close the estate for a few days, she thought for the 50th time. Monday's police responders, followed by Tuesday's reporters, had brought today's unticketed thrill-seekers and distraught loved ones, most of whom came looking for someone who had disappeared in the past 5 years, not 5 decades ago. At least the gates would shut at 1 today. Wednesday afternoons were reserved for private tours, although Jen had canceled both of today's, then felt guilty at having hesitated over the loss of income. She also tried not to think of the cost of the extra guards needed to keep the gawkers at bay, or of the psychologist they'd brought in both to dispense comfort and advice to the grief-stricken and to counsel any estate workers disturbed by Monday's events. She'd discussed matters with her staff. Should they close the estate until it blew over, or simply deal with matters here and now? She did not bring up any financial consideration. That was her problem, and she didn't want to appear ghoulish. In the end, they all decided to hold out. The weekend would be nuts, but hopefully after that, interest would die down. Jen tried not to wish for some other spectacular disaster to titillate the masses away from her door. However, the day's endless stream of phone calls, text messages, and staff dropping by to consult did explain why, when the knock came at the half-open door of her office, the manager didn't bother glancing up from the printout she'd just dug out of the desk drawer, and her response was a touch impatient. "Yes?" "I'm looking for the manager, Jen Backus." "I'm Jen, but I really can't give you any information at this time. The estate is closing for the afternoon. If you have questions, I'd suggest you talk to the police." "I am the police."